Well, Omar, great to see you. First things first, how excited are you to see, after far, far too long, top-class competitive ice hockey coming back? It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, that first game Friday night was certainly something special, and for it to be sold out, I thought it was great for our fans. I thought it was great for Scotland in general, ice hockey. I think there was Fife fans, obviously Glasgow fans too, and just the return of hockey and to play in front of a sold out capacity building was something special and truly remarkable, and it's great to see still the interest of the fans and everybody involved with the sport. So yeah, it was truly a special night, and already looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah. How much are you looking forward to the sort of real action starting, the competitive stuff?
Yeah, I mean it's been it's been way too long, right? But for our first competitive game, it's going to be, again, goosebumps. We knew last game was preseason. It was great to get the fans all involved, the return of hockey, but now the return of real competition is going to be great, especially now with 2 weeks of practice. Still missing a few guys, but no, all in all, we're really, it's going to be a great moment, and to start our Challenge Cup campaign at home is going to be exciting.
You have, of course, assembled your squad from scratch. How pleased are you with how things have come together? How pleased are you with the strength and the quality that you have at your disposal now?
Really happy. I mean, it was an early process, recruitment. As everybody kind of knows, we stayed active throughout the whole pandemic, and the recruitment season for me started quite early, earlier than usual, I guess. So the recruitment, I think we had 2 last players left, and we had one guy that decided to not take part. And to be able to sign Marcus as our last player, Marcus Campera, he's added just so much leadership to the back and experience, and he's been a great asset for us so far. But that was how the ending worked, how the ending happened. But throughout the whole process, every signing, every person had a role, and we're really happy with what we've seen so far.
What are your targets for the campaign? How high can you aim
for the season? I mean, for me, it's a difficult question until you see all the teams, right? But first off, compete every night. Challenge everybody we play with, whether it be at home or away. I don't think the days of going to certain buildings and just hoping to keep it closer, those days are way done. We're going to every game wanting to win, which I'm sure the 9 other teams are doing the same. We want to compete every night, and minimum standard would be the top 8, and hopefully make some noise in this Challenge Cup phase that's coming up. Last year or 2 years ago, out of the whole standings of the group phase, we finished number 1. So hopefully we can replicate that, but it goes just one game at a time, and starts on Saturday, and hopefully we can start the season off with a head start there.
Yeah, of course, Nottingham to come on Sunday, but first up, Belfast come to your place in the Challenge Cup. What will your feelings be, when you and the team take to the ice, and the fans are on their feet roaring them on? I mean, that'll be quite an emotional moment, I would guess.
I think it will be. I think Saturday was really last Friday was extremely emotional, but to know that this is the first game officially back, meaningful game, I think it's going to add something else to everything. And again, we're all really happy to be in this position, right? There was certainly some doubts during the pandemic. I think as a group, there's a lot of guys, we've talked about being grateful and being, don't take these things for granted. And I think any opportunity to have, this season or any game we have, is just to think you never know what can happen the next day, right? So we just want to enjoy every moment, and certainly the guys will enjoy the first moment back officially on Saturday.
I was just going to ask, in terms of the Challenge Cup, just the 3 teams in the group this year, it's a very intense at starts. Does that alter how you approach it at all? Sort of thing is going to be build up some rivalries early on with obviously Fife and Belfast?
No, it's a different, like you said, it's different this year, only having 2 other teams, with Fife and Belfast, but we get to see them a lot. Unfortunately, well, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to see it, there's nothing on Belfast right now. That's going to be their first game, even with no preseason and whatnot. So, you're not going to know what to expect till that game, right? So certainly going to be a challenge with that. Belfast, the last few years we've been with them in the same group. It's been challenging every single game. Fife as well, and it's going to add maybe a bit of rivalry too when you get to see a team so much. You'll see that across the league. I think in every single group that there's maybe more of a bit of a rivalry that will be created, naturally because teams are playing each other so often. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough group. I think every single group is tough, and to play 8 games against, 4 against Fife and 4 against Belfast certainly is going to be a big challenge throughout the Challenge Cup phase.
Yeah, but as you say, you're hopeful to qualify for the next stage. It's not just about using these Challenge Cup games as preparation for the league season sort of thing, Omar. Yeah.
No, I think we have to aim to qualify for the next group. I mean, if you look at the 3 teams involved, we all pretty much started at the same time. I mean, us and Fife had a few preseason games against each other, but we all started relatively at the same time. So it's a good opportunity to see which team is gelling quicker than maybe the others. But come every competition in this league, we want to push to the best we can. And like I said, a few years back, we finished first in all the group stages, and I don't see why we can't qualify for next group. It's going to be hard for every single team to qualify, but it's certainly one of our targets, and just to go game by game. And if we win more than we lose in that group, and there's a better opportunity that we will move forward.
Yeah. So just going to ask on the roster you've got for this year, Omar, obviously a mix of sort of North Americans, Europeans. Was that always the way you were planning to go, or was it just the way things worked out sort of thing? There seems to be a few more Scandinavians coming into Scotland this year, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to represent every country here, but no, it's exciting, and I always try to recruit the best players that we can get available. But truth be told, I really like the different cultures we have in the locker room. It's great to learn from other people. Like you said, we have Swedes, Finnish guys. Yep. Scotland, Wales, Canada, apart from Quebec too, and then you have Americans. So it makes it a good culture and comes together. And we have a great group of guys right now, and I'm sure the other teams will say the exact same. But it's great to get different personalities, but we're all seem to be wanting to play the same way, so it's exciting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are your thoughts about playing the Panthers for the first league game on Sunday?
Yeah, when I saw the schedule, it was a different one, because usually we're prototype, you play kind of Challenge Cup games, but I think because there's 9 teams, there's a lot of scheduling issues with the whole league itself. Not necessarily issues, but adjustments everybody had to make. But to play, listen, you got to play every single team, so to play them early, yeah, if you ask me, I would prefer to maybe play the Challenge Cup, maybe get a bit more time together. But Nottingham's their first game too of the regular of all competitions against us, so it's going to be great to see Nottingham. We're obviously playing Saturday, they're not, but it's always a good building to play, and the guys will will get their rest after the game on Saturday, and we'll prepare for the game on Sunday. And it's going to give us the opportunity to see, I guess, 2 other teams throughout the weekend. And no, I'm sure we'll be getting our rest. Obviously, it's going to be our early start on Sunday, but I'm confident we can go in there and hopefully compete all night and get a result.
Brilliant. And they've had 4 preseason games. You've had the 2, and then of course you'll be playing Belfast. I mean, you should be kind of level with the ice time that you've had and time that Tim has had and you've had with your team. I mean, how do you feel that that's going to be for that game at the same level of fitness and pieces like that with the roster that you've got?
Yeah, I like we're it's a hard one to answer, because I think like all teams are not going to be the same, right? So Nottingham started a week earlier, so it really doesn't matter. Whatever matters is how you're ready for that game. So for us, we were like, Belfast didn't have a preseason game. We got to have 2 preseason games, and I don't think it matters. It's just what we know we want to focus on every single day and get better. And for Sunday, I think that's going to be the case. And, it gives me an opportunity to maybe see their last few games a bit more. Like you said, there's 4 preseason games. Maybe an advantage for me is to have a look at how they play, their tendencies and whatnot. But come Sunday, I mean, it's the first regular season for both teams. So I'm sure whether it be us or them, they'll be extremely motivated.
Fantastic. And then going with your team yourself with recruitment, because of COVID and obviously the circumstances around it and the time that you've had, I mean, was it more difficult than what you've done previously, trying to get those players to come in without them having ice time and not being at other teams, for example?
Yeah, I think it was a bit more of a challenge for sure. And you had, like on our team, you have guys that didn't play last year. You had guys that played very few games. You got guys that stopped their season midway through, and there were stops and starts. So it was a bit of more of a challenge. Obviously, with the league too, we had to make sure a few aspects from the league for the vaccines and whatnot. But overall, I mean, I'm just happy to be back, and I think I'm more grateful than not. And yes, did I have some sleepless nights? Or some hard nights and you know what I mean, recruiting and heavy talks late in the early mornings. Yes, but I don't think I would change it for any other way, especially after 18 months,
Brilliant. And then obviously you're saying that, coming back into it now with Premier Sports being the headline sponsor, there's going to be more people that are actually going to have active to see the sport. I mean, what's your feelings about that it's going to be all eyes on ice hockey again?
Yeah, that was really exciting for the league to get that. I mean, I've been in this league now for I don't know how many years, for a while now, and it's exciting to see the league grow every single year. And the thing is, maybe Dave knows this, but Premier Sport does a lot with Scottish football as well. So it's great for Scotland, the 3 base teams, to get that exposure on Premier Sports, and for us to see a major sponsor like them and to have a head sponsor, a league sponsor. I think it's good for the league, and hopefully we can keep growing, because I know every 10 team individually are pushing in their own, market itself, like us in Dundee and, Belfast, whoever they are, they're still trying to push, but to have something more general across the UK is exciting.
So last one from me really is, what's your message to the fans? Obviously them coming back on Saturday and then hopefully some away days as well from you and your team.
Yeah, no, I'm really thankful for our fans, and I've said it a million times. I mean, they've been just fantastic during the pandemic. Obviously, you're from Nottingham, you've seen them interact with the fans throughout the whole 18 months. We've done the same here in Dundee, and the fact that we're tuning into live shows or joining the Gold Club membership, keeping their season tickets in the club and all that, it's been really great. And for the messages, every week we'll be working our butts off to offer a good product on the ice and to compete. And listen, we're not going to take any moments for granted. Like that Friday game, I'm sure it's in the back of everybody's mind, and they're all hungry for more. They want to see it every weekend. So hopefully they can keep coming back, and we can keep pushing our organization, keep growing like we've done in the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, after a Nottingham interlude, I'll bring you back to Belfast. You were talking about the rivalry that there is between the 2 teams because you do play each other so much. After a year away, how do you think that rivalry will be affected?
I don't know. It's a hard one to say. I think it's going to be the first game against each other, first game against Belfast. And we all know, like, every first game of the season, I'm sure there's always going to be a bit more energy, a bit more emotion, a bit more excitement. So I'm sure it will come back naturally. I don't think per se, it's a rivalry right now, but it's been a rival, it's been tight games, hard games in the past. I have a lot of respect for the Giants. I think it's a great club. I think they do a lot of good things on the ice, well coached. So I think it's I think what will happen, it will be, because we play them so many times, that the rivalry will start growing and growing and growing every game, in my opinion. And hopefully it's something that's good for both teams to get that competitive, spirit right up high for every game. And also it will be good for the fans.
How do you approach the game knowing that the Giants haven't had a game so far? Are you guys able to approach it any differently to maybe how you would if you met them in mid-season?
Yeah, it's a weird one because obviously Nottingham, there's, like I said, there's a bit of tape on them. There's nothing on Belfast, so we don't really know what they're going to bring, or what their special teams are, what their 5-on-5. But it's also a good opportunity for us this week to kind of focus on ourselves of how we want to play. So it's maybe a blessing in disguise, I guess, for us to go in there raw and just go in with what we want to do and not necessarily worry about the other team itself. And listen, it's going to be, a team that I felt recruited really well on paper, and I guess it's played on the ice, so we'll see what they have. But I'm sure they're going to be competitive as they always are.
And just the final one from me is more of a personal interest, but Marcus Cancampera, you mentioned him earlier. He's not the prototypical elite league signing, a 41-year-old Finn who was averaging just under 20 minutes in the Liga last year. How did he land on your desk, and how did you go about bringing him to Dundee?
Yeah, no, Marcus is, well, the last guy was really simple. I really wanted to get maybe a more experienced guy. All our group was under 30. So I said it before, I was hoping to get one over 30 or 30-year-old, and we got one over 40. So we were happy with that. But no, Marcus, no, listen, it was word to mouth. And, I had a few conversations with him. I kind of knew what we wanted from him, and he wanted a new challenge as well. And I think maybe other teams, whether it be in our league or not, I'm not too sure, but I think maybe other teams in Europe were a bit scared of his age, I guess, in some ways. But it took me 5 minutes to watch him play, and knowing that he's in great shape. I mean, he doesn't look like a 41-year-old, that's for sure. And playing wise, I mean, I can just see it in practice. He's in great conditioning, takes care of his body. I mean, there's a reason why a 41-year-old is playing hockey, and he's in great shape. So no, we're extremely lucky to get a guy with that much experience, and here in Dundee. And that's certainly something we really wanted, to get that high-end experience, that a guy played at a high level. And I think for this group, he's doing a great job so far.
From a point of view of the Dundee Stars, you're now obviously a part of the furniture up there since leaving Manchester. The last 18 months can't have been easy, especially for an organisation like the Dundee Stars. And there's a lot of uncertain times for a lot of clubs. How much of a relief is it to see the crowd that you had the other day, and how much of a relief is it to get that team back on the ice?
Yeah, it was a relief. I think after 18 months, you kind of not know what to expect. But I've said it before. We were active throughout the 18 months. We wanted to get our fan base still involved. We had a plan in place to come back strong. If I'm being completely honest for that, I wasn't expecting the ticket sales to go as good as early on last week and as good as it was. Our season tickets have been phenomenal this year. Our first game back has been phenomenal. So I was myself, I expected it to be full house, but the process throughout the week kind of surprised me of how quick it happened, if that makes sense, So, so no, it was a great relief. It was something that I think everybody at the club kind of, was really happy with, because they put a lot of effort, whether it be the directors or commercial manager or, Stars TV. It's kind of like they were rewarded. And for me, it's like, it's great, but we need to follow that continuity and keep it going. And because we still want to compete on the ice, but we want to also be that team that grows off the ice. But certainly a great moment.
Did that time off allow you to approach anything differently with regards to the organization, given that your role now is more all-encompassing?
I think every team, I'm sure, you kind of take a step back, because in the normal season you don't have time, right? You're going from one step to the other. You're done.
Yeah.
Your season tickets, recruitment, and then it's like this year. I mean, we had time to sit down. I'm with my role at the university, lecturing in sports. I get the opportunity to maybe also study a lot of that, and study other businesses, study other sports and whatnot. And you learn a lot, and I think every day is a school day for everybody that's off the ice in this sport. And I had to opportunity to work with Michael off the ice, and ideas and innovations that we wanted to create to the club. What have we done good? What have we done bad? And just look, and we're not going to be perfect. We're not going to ace everything, but as long as you keep improving marginal gains every single day, I think your club is eventually going to get there eventually.
And just finally coming back to events on the ice, and of course, as Adam and others have already iterated, you've got Belfast not just this weekend, but next weekend as well. 2 games within a week. Your record in Belfast, unfortunately for us, is actually pretty good. What are you expecting?
I've said it before earlier. I think Belfast have recruited great on paper. Again, I don't know what they are or what they will be on the ice, but I can tell they added size, speed, skill. Great goalie that's been here before. So yeah, that this is a team that I think, you can argue can compete, at the highest level in this league. But again, nobody has seen them. I haven't seen them, and I'm sure Adam is looking forward to seeing his team on the ice as well, right? So I think it will be hard. It's great that I guess we can see them so many times so early to kind of get a feel of both teams. But yeah, going to Belfast, I've said it a million times. I mean, it's for a young team. We always seem to recruit younger guys. It's an exciting place to go. I mean, it's a nice venue. You arrive a bit early. You can maybe get to walk around, and guys enjoy playing in Belfast because it's such a, like I said, nice place to play, nice venue. You have the locker room nice and early. So usually our young guys get really excited and up for those games.